Hello, and welcome to the latest episode in my beginner game developer diary. This is a monumentous episode. A lot has changed in the game, and I'm pleased that it's finally in a state that I can share with everyone. The two biggest things: number one, the game is no longer an auto-scroller. The auto-scroller code is still there. I might use it as a mini-game in the future, but now BINGUS is a free roaming platformer, and I really do think the game is better for it. I've retooled level 1, as you can see here. It's still a work in progress, but I've made this level quite simple. I'll share what I've changed, not just in this level obviously, but in the entire game. And I've got a final boss as well, and I really can't wait to share that because I'm really pleased with it. So let me show you level 1, and I'll show you a few of the things that I've worked on. The first thing you'll notice is that where the score is now, we show the maximum total coins, which a small change, but you'll notice this little bar above the score. When you collect a coin, this bar fills up. Let's squash this guy, he's a new enemy, and you can see that when you stop collecting coins, that starts to decay. This is actually increasing Bingus's maximum running speed. So when you've got it maxed out, you can run really fast, and then after a certain time, it starts to decay and it goes back down to his default running speed. I'm not really sure what I'm doing with this yet, but I added it because I felt I wanted to reward players who wanted to play the game with speed, who were competent, but at the same time, I didn't want to give them so much speed that it was uncontrollable, especially if a less abled player was playing it. And I also didn't want to punish the players who weren't interested in that mechanic. So the cap on his max speed isn't huge. I think it's only like a 20% increase, and I'm still tweaking it. I just thought it was a nice way to reward moving from coin to coin and rewarding that fluid gameplay. But it's not necessary. You can still collect all the coins and not do that quickly and still unlock everything and max out your score and complete the game 100%. However, now there's a brand new feature. Now I've got the ability to go everywhere we want. Now, this won't be a vending machine forever. It was just in the sprite pack and I needed something. I've added a bonus level. Check this out. So you go in and you can see immediately we've got to collect 10 coins. I've just got one. Let's get the third one. You can see the timer's going down. There's a teleport up there, but I can see that it's not ready yet. Oh, quickly go in. Okay, I win. You can see I've done some fancy animated text with some cringe rainbow you win victory stuff there. That was really quick, right? And I used some Donkey Kong music just to give me an idea of the kind of music I want to make for it. But I'll show you what happens when... Oh, wait, that won't start again. Let me restart. And let's just quickly get back to the bonus. I want to show you what happens when we fail. Again, this is all very much work in progress. So I do some cool stuff here. Now, when you go into the bonus level, it is dynamically checking how many bonus coins there are, just like it checks for how many coins are in each level. Same code, just retooled. But watch what happens when we die. So either you can time out, or you can just die. So we get this. Now, you'll notice the screen goes black and white. Initially, I tried to make that a shader, but the code and what you needed to do apparently to turn everything in the game black and white, it seemed quite complicated. Maybe I was overthinking it. So my solution was, rather than do that, which I wasn't really confident in, basically all I do is I take a screenshot of the viewport and then we apply that to a texture act and then we display that. Perfect. Really low effort, really easy, no messing around with shaders. I was quite happy with that solution. Let's continue the level. Nice and easy because it's the first level. Got all the same systems. You'll notice now we've got a yellow gem at the top. That's if we've completed the bonus level, which I've done in a previous run. Let's kill this. And then got to be careful here. You can see I've got an extra boost. Oh, sneaky. I've done a lot of work on the camera as well to try and make it a bit less punishing. Not today, buddy. And there we go. That's level 1. Everything else, exactly the same. So, didn't really take much. I don't want to show you the BINGUS movement code. it is spaghetti right now, so it's better we don't show that. Let me show you the boss. And in fact, I'll start by just showing you the area. Right, so this is the boss room. And I'll play this, and then I'll give you some work in progress footage as well of how we got here. This shader effect, this rippling effect, I'll be very upfront. I just grabbed that off a website. Full credit will be given in the game because someone else has made that, and I think they deserve the credit for it. But I really liked it, so I thought I'd put it in. Full disclaimer, as always, the boss isn't finished. So let's play it, and I'll show you how I made it. So you just have to bait him into smashing the ground, and you can see the screen shakes. And you bounce on his head, and you can see the health bar goes down. I've made the health bar do a little shake as well. So hopefully I don't screw this up, because this is quite hard at the moment. He needs a bit of tuning. He's called Orzak, so we need to nerf him a little bit because he's quite powerful. So I'm trying to get to phase 2, and you'll know when phase 2 starts. Trust me. There you go. You can see the size of the platform go down, and now the platform's sinking. Here's some power-ups. You pick the power-up up, and it raises the platform for a little bit, and then it starts going back down. We've been very lucky with the RNG here, but it won't go higher than 3 rows of blocks. So we need to keep baiting him. If we take too long, then the platform will sink and we'll die. Ooh. So these bobs, what should I call them? They drop the power-ups, and then we use that to raise the floor again. Wow, it's never this kind. Let's raise that. Let's kill this guy. Oh, there's another one. I should get that before it just despawns. Got a 5-second timer. In phase 3, which is now, I made the platform go down even quicker, but the power-ups bring it up quicker. So it's a race to the finish. You can see even I'm struggling a bit here. There we go. He's dead. And then the platform raises back to where it was, and the boss is finished. The health bar is showing that he's alive because the health bar is... The logic for that is inside Orzak, because I was just rushing because I was really excited to add it in. So it hasn't finished moving the bar just as he died, which is why it looks like he's got more health or it's bugged out. I will move that outside and create a boss manager script or something, which I haven't done yet. But that's the boss. Now, I got very lucky there. I don't always get so many power-ups to raise the floor. But you can see, I think it's quite fun. Now, it needs a few tweaks. Like if you, for example, you can see if I just go into a loop like this, he can just do this forever, and it's a bit of a cheese strat to just bait him down too quickly, so that I'm going to add a timer to give him a few seconds to get up and move around a little bit. But that's the boss, and there's so much cool stuff here that I've done, and this is probably the best work I've done, and it was proof to me that over the past few months I've really developed as a game developer. I'm not perfect, there's still a lot of things I could do better, but a year ago I never imagined I would be making this. And apart from the sprites and this shader and this background, the code, the music is all me. So I'm really, really happy. Let me show you how it works. So for Orzak, and I use this for Bingus as well, but not as cleanly because I've learned a lot since then. Orzak uses a finite state machine. Please excuse, again, this seriously needs some tidying up, but I was just really excited. We've got an enum for his phases. A few of these we don't use anymore, and I'll share those in the work in progress footage. And we use an enum for the phases. I've never used enums before, so my goal was to start using them. And my goal for this was to use a finite state machine as well. So you can see we're checking the phase and we're matching the enum state with the correct process. We've got the health bar and the health bar shake, which these need to be moved outside of this node. The state changing code, we've got a sound playing thing, phase changing. This was back when Orzak was a lot more complicated. He's a lot simpler now because I hit some roadblocks and I decided to rein it into a more specific loop, which I found more rewarding to play and to make. We've got signals. I'm using signals a lot in this fight, which I use signals here and there, but these signals are a lot more explicit. We've got the acquire target, which is him looking for Bingus, And if I show you Orzak, where is he? I can just search for him. Oh, it won't let me open it. Okay. Where are you? There you are. I'll show you that in a sec. You can see so there's a lot of cool stuff here, right? It's all really simple code. It's relying a lot on raycasts for detecting stuff. So there's a function for everything. There's a function for getting up, acquiring the target, smashing him, coming back up, moving left and right, literally everything. We've got other things to do with, with detection of collision, which is a little bit ropey at the moment, but it works. So here is the man himself. I say man, he is an intergalactic entity. And you can't really see them. If I actually remove the sprite, you can see we've got the collision for his base, which is what kills Bingus, and we've got the top here, which handles actually hurting him. And when we bump into that, we do damage and we fling Bingus away with sometimes hilarious consequences. We've got this raycasts to the side because when he moves left and right, he needs to detect whether these invisible walls are present. I initially had actual physical walls, but I didn't like how they looked, so I opted for these static bodies instead, which I think work really well. And there's a raycast here to handle when he's hit the ground. Don't know if I could have maybe just used the collision body of the bottom bit, but oh well. And that handles most of the logic. I've got loads of sound nodes. I'm planning to write not a sound engine, obviously, but like a sound system to handle all of the sounds and play them through to one node instead of having multiple. But at the moment, I just wanted to get my ideas out, and then I'm working on the extra bits. So there's going to be sounds for when you hit him, he's going to play like a random sound. It's probably just going to be me making like, oh, hurt noises and stuff like that. But I'm going to create a sound system for that because I thought that'd be quite good. Oh, there's an error here. Very low timer. Yes, I probably actually need to get rid of that because I don't use it anymore. So that's something I'll need to work on. So that it all works fantastically well. And then for the platform system, if we go to here, you can see we've got the terrain. And again, we're using a state machine with enums, so I'm getting used to it now. We've got the Orzak signals, and you can see we stop the platform, we make the earthquake noise, we sync the platform. We also, really cheap probably with the... Oh, we don't use doors anymore. I don't even know. I should probably actually get rid of those. This is a copy-paste of level 1. If you zoom out, you can see the grass. But you can see terrain 2 is the blocks on the sides, so we sync those independently, and then once they get too far away, rather than have them sync forever, we queue free them eventually, because I didn't like the idea of them existing somewhere. And then we speed things up when we get to phase 3, and then I could probably just tidy that up. But it all works really well, and I've learned a lot from doing this, how the system of Orzak's behavior works and how we can make that interact with other systems, because it's not just Orzak now, you've got the platform system as well. And I'll show you some work in progress of how we got here. So let me show you the original boss room. So this is what it looked like at the beginning. Really simple. Same concept with the blocks at the bottom, but the blocks at the floor basically had a different purpose originally. So there's Orzak now, and you'll notice that some blocks are missing because the original plan was for him to destroy some of the terrain, because I learned that there's a command that you can just remove cells of terrain, and I thought that could be quite fun. But I was really struggling to get it to work properly. Sometimes he would destroy the correct tile, and other times he would miss this tile where my mouse is now and go to the one underneath if this one was still full. And it was really inconsistent. And I think it was in phase 2 and 3 where the platform started to sync, where the inconsistency started, because I think there's probably some mismatch with when he detects it, and because the platform is syncing, it doesn't really line up properly anyway. So I stopped that. We've got initially, this whole encounter was a 3-phase encounter across one tower, and between each phase in the intermission, he would float up, and the door would open to the side. You would go through, you'd do a little platforming section, kill some enemies, solve a puzzle maybe, and then you'd go into the next floor and fight him again. And I've got a small example of this. Just mute it. So you can see here, I'm about to bounce on him. He's done a bit of destruction here, and he starts floating up. And then this is where I go into the platforming. Obviously, this is all just blocked out at the time. And then we begin phase 2. You can see I got it working, but the issue is that having the camera static like this, and then when you get to the platforming sections, the camera needs to be working as if it does on a normal platforming section. However, this camera is static, and it's not a child of Bingus. And this one is a child of Bingus. And I was really struggling with, do I just create one normal camera that's not a child of him and create some code to follow him during the intermissions, and then outside of the intermissions I lock it in place? I tried that. It did work. But I was just thinking, I'm making this too complicated. I really like the idea of the tower, but I was getting a bit wound up, and I was spending more time thinking of the logic of it all, and I really lost sight of, like, I want to make a fun boss, and this just wasn't fun. It worked. You can see I got I had all the logic in for him to fly up and to wait for Bingus to come up and then to start the phase again. This was all one map. It looks like I'm transitioning here, but you can see I'm jumping there. It is all one map. And then eventually I gave up on that, and then I went for an idea where in between each intermission it loads into an intermission map. So this would be the intermission map here, where you'd like load in down here, and you'd do some platforming and come up here and then go off there, and then it would load back to the next boss room. I thought maybe decoupling it would make the camera system a little bit less painful to work with. And subsequently, I thought, okay, well, what if we're in between each phase of the boss, you come in, and then I made this a bonus room. So then you would come in through a boss, and then you'd come here, and you can see the camera static, and then you quickly try and do a bonus collection thing. But I thought, no, I'm just trying to, like, it doesn't work because some of the nodes are missing. I thought that's boring as well. Like, I'm trying too hard here. So I went right back to basics, and I thought, what would I want to play if this was on the Super Nintendo? And I thought, let's just focus on one mechanic, which is him smashing the ground and you jumping on his head, and then platform syncing, defeat the bubs, get the power up, make the platform go up, and then later on the platform sinks even faster. And that really tight loop, I think, works really, really well. Excuse me, I'm just going to have some tea. Delicious. Anyway, so I thought that worked really well. Obviously, you can see it needs a bit of work. It needs, like, some balancing. Some of the systems aren't quite 100%. Oh, yeah, there's the downward raycast arrow. But it works really well, and I'm super proud of myself. Obviously, I need to hide that coin thing, because we don't use that. But it works so good. I love the camera shaking as well. I love the health bar shaking. There's a lot of cool stuff here. It needs more iteration. He needs animations when he takes damage. He turns red when he's charging up, but like when he takes damage, he needs to, like, shake around. He needs to make more noises. I need that sound system designed. And then when he dies, he needs to blow up rather than just randomly disappear. But you can see the platform is sinking quite slowly. I think phase 2 is too easy, and I think phase 3 is too hard. Now we're in phase 2 still. I think we're just about to drop into phase 3. There you go. Now it's just getting ridiculous, because if you get bad RNG and he doesn't spawn these bobs, and even if he does, there's no guarantee that they actually drop the item. So, fuck. Well, at least you can see the invincibility frames I added. You see, it's too hard. So there's a lot to do, but, like, man, this game has really taken a new form, and it's really galvanized me to complete it, and I think I'm on track to complete by the end of summer, if not a little bit sooner. I'm just going to get the levels done, I'm keeping a lot of the levels as they are. Some of them are receiving massive reworks. The Maluni mines, as I called them, that this is being reworked. It's a lot bigger. There's a bonus there, the vending machine, and you've got this maze as well. So there's a lot, but that's it. There's a lot of under the hood improvements too, but I won't bore you with that. I just wanted to share this. I've gone on for a really long time, but I'm still here, still cracking on. I'm really excited to get this game finished and share it with everyone. Even if only one person plays it, it's going to be great. Oh, and also I am paying a sprite artist to create me a tile set for the final level before the boss with Orzak. It's a beautiful dungeon design in the same style as this stuff. Really can't wait to show it to you next time, hopefully. Thanks for watching. See you next time.